This is a box.
What's in the box?
Noma, arguably the best restaurant in the world, took creations from their fermentation lab and bottled them up for everyone to try. It's like fine dining shipped to your house. This box is part of Taste Buds 2025, and apparently we'll get to taste things that no one else may ever try.
All right, so this is the first Noma Taste Buds box of 2025, right? Yeah, what do we have? I love this like minimal packaging that they do for all the Noma products. So let's get into it. We have hazelnut berry praline, which I think is a evolution of their pumpkin seed praline, which is super exciting. Oh wow, this has such a cool color. I don't know if you can see this. It's got this like almost rusty brown color. So for people who don't know how to make a praline, basically you roast nuts. Very typically it's hazelnuts. And then once they're roasted, you grind them for a fairly long time until the oil separates from the nut. And it creates this like oily, roasty nut and nut fat paste. Often it's used for, what can I think of? That's like Paris-Brest, the French cake. It's made from choux pastry with vanilla cream and hazelnut praline. Super, super tasty. It's actually one of my favorite cakes. I'm kind of expecting this one to be fatty, sweet, roasty, but with a certain amount of acidity from the berries. I wonder how they incorporate the berries, if they dry them and then grind them into it. But it's got such a beautiful color. It's like almost purple with little speckles of black inside. It's so good. It's like mixing together berry jam with like a nut butter. That's exactly what I said. It's like roasty, fatty, a little bit of salt in there, which obviously like you're roasting seeds or nuts, even if it's something sweet, adding some salt, it just like brings out the flavor with like real fruity acidity from the berries. It's super delicious. This is something you could literally just spoon onto anything, You can put this on pancakes or waffles. You can put it straight on bread. I could see this like go really well with certain like cheeses, like a soft goat's cheese or something like that. But it's pretty perfect the way that it is. Then we have a jasmine and rose lacto amazake, which is really cool. All right, I guess I'll start with the jasmine one. It's got a little bit of like residue on the bottom here. I'm just gonna shake it well. There's often a lot of flavor. All right, hopefully it doesn't explode everywhere. Smells yeasty in a nice way. That's really nice. It tastes like smooth, florally sweet with like a nice acidity, kind of like a kombucha would have. Yeah, if I had to describe the taste, I would say it's like a really nice light kombucha. You could easily just buy this as a drink and have it. It's super, super tasty. You could also see this in like dressings or to brighten up certain like light sauces. It's very tasty. Let's go to the rose. Ooh, it's got a pretty color. Also a little bit of yeast residue. Yeah, that smells to me totally like a very light floral kombucha in a really nice sort of way. Yeah, it's super light, but really, really tasty. Very similar to this one, obviously. But I really love how, in general, I really love how Noma uses roses. It's a question like which roses they use. You know, usually they use hip roses, like these like wild roses, or like beach rose, I think is like another one. When you hear rose, you always think of these like grandma style perfumes. It's not that at all. It's just a really nice, like floral, fresh, summery taste. It's really, really tasty. Yeah. And then this sounds really crazy, truffle à la crème, which is supposedly a completely plant-based sauce that they've used. You know, when we went to Noma, they had a lot of truffle-based sauces. This one says it's made out of mushroom garum, roasted kelp, and barley koji oil, which sounds really cool. No animal products, just years of innovation. I don't really know what to expect here. But if it's anything like the truffle sauces that we had when we were at Noma, which were absolutely delicious. And they had this like fatty quality to them, you know, it's like oiliness without being greasy. And it looks exactly like the sauces that we had, you know? You have this like slick of oil around. It's very like unctuous. It has this like very, very thick, velvety texture. That's delicious. That's like as it is, ready to use. It's like you don't need to add anything to this. This is just super, super tasty. I mean, it's exactly like what I said. It's truffly, but without being like aromatic in a negative way, like a bad truffle oil would be. It's very mushroomy, full of umami, salty, bright, but at the same time kind of fatty, sweet. It's just super, super well balanced. It's delicious. I could just spoon this as it is. Super nice. Yeah.
So I expected them to be a little bit more of like a pantry item, something that you use in cooking, which obviously they can be. But what I'm quite surprised by is that these products, they're so harmonious in themselves, they're so finished that almost you don't wanna fuck around with them too much because they're really delicious. The Amazake you could easily, as it is, just pour over ice and drink it. I've got an idea for like a little bit of a combined beverage maybe with it. But like, for example, the truffle sauce, it's like you don't have to add anything. You don't have to add salt or vinegar or anything. It's like so delicious as it is. Same with the spread. So the tricky thing is to make something that doesn't fuck up these amazing products and all the work that went into them, that kind of complements them, right? So I had a plan. I'm going to change it up slightly. Keeping in mind the sort of like flavors and notes that these products have. And yeah, we'll see whether we can make something that's nice. But any one of these, easily you could just leave as they are and just use them as finished products.
So we decided to make a really light, sweet and sour custard tart with a little bit of an Amazake glaze, with a burnt meringue.